we do a little bit of a different video today. As I mentioned at the end of last year, I really want to do more kind of challenge videos, lifestyle videos, fitness videos, that type of vibe for 2020. So for the past 4 weeks, I've been working really hard on going to the gym, exercising pretty much every day, eating really healthy, and I thought I would just sit down and talk you guys through what I've been doing, what my tips are so far, even though I'm still very much a beginner. Also, just want to use that as time to say a quick disclaimer in the fact that I'm not an expert in health, I'm not an expert in nutrition. This is kind of just like my experience so far, how I'm finding it. I did ask you guys on Instagram as well if you've got any questions, so I'm going to do my best to incorporate some of the questions as I talk through different things, but if not, I am going to do a Q&A section at the end as well. In terms of what my goal was to kind of lose a little bit of weight, because as I said, I had put weight on, especially around my stomach and my thighs and like all of the usual places where I'd usually put weight on. So I wanted to lose a little bit of weight, tone up a little bit, so build a little bit of muscle, and just kind of like get used to going to the gym and get into the habit of going to the gym. That was like my main goal. Also wanted to see if it kind of helped with my mood and my mental health and stuff, which it definitely has. Like, I feel so happy at the minute. I feel so just like fresh and energized and just good in general, so I've been really enjoying it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk first through nutrition and what I've been eating, and then I'm also going to talk through what I've been doing at the gym. If I've missed anything out, I'm going to put lots of information in the description bar as well, so be sure to check that out. My diet up until now, I basically eat everything except red meat. So I've not eaten red meat for like 3 years at this point. Personally, just don't like it. I don't feel like my body digests it very well. I eat chicken, fish. I tried to cut out dairy this month as much as possible because I know, again, my body does not digest dairy very well, and I feel like as humans, we're not really supposed to have dairy very much if you think about it. Yeah, that's kind of like a backstory as to what I eat, in case you're wondering. I am actually going to go vegan for the next 30 days and see how that kind of changes, like anything fitness wise, health wise, energy wise, so I'm gonna film that as well, so stay tuned for that. Calories. I got a lot of questions on my Instagram about calories, and I didn't really know whether to talk about this because the last thing I want to do is encourage people to be really strict with themselves on calories, or think that you have to like consume the calories I'm consuming, or like restrict yourself. Like, that's not the vibe that I was going for this month. I've done that before and I just found that I failed really quickly, because I feel like if you're too harsh on yourself, that's when you tend to cave and just like, and like you end up eating like loads of shit, or you end up overeating because you're being too harsh on yourself. So I did want to set like a calorie deficit, because is that how you pronounce that word? Deficit, I feel like it is. I wanted to set a calorie deficit because I did want to lose a little bit of weight, so I kind of aimed around like 1500 calories. I use MyFitnessPal. I find that MyFitnessPal is really useful for inputting foods. It gives you like the nutritional values of stuff, like how much protein something's got, how like the carbs, the fats, like sugars, all of that type of vibe. In terms of things that I eat, I'll put on the screen here what my initial list was of what I was gonna like have, like some meal ideas, that kind of stuff. Like, I just jotted it down. But yeah, breakfast for example, I'd have a lot of eggs, really good protein, really good fat. I would allow myself to have carbs. That's another thing that I got questions about, like, are carbs bad for you, X, Y, and Z. I personally don't think carbs are a bad thing as long as you're not eating them in complete excess, like everything in moderation, you know. For example, I really like Warburton's thin protein bagels because they're not super calorific, but they're high in protein and they're quite filling. So I really like those with like eggs and avocado. Avocado, again, really great. It's obviously quite high in fat, but it's just not something I would have every single day. Yogurt, Greek yogurt is so good. The brand Faye, I think it's called. I think that's how it's pronounced. It's spelled like Faye. Really good yogurt. You can get the 0% fat, so it's got absolutely no fat in, but per 100 grams it has about 10 grams of protein in, which is really good. Turkey sausages. Really enjoyed having turkey sausages for breakfast. I have to say as well, a quick thank you to my boyfriend because he has been amazing this month. He's a cook, so he's an amazing cook, and he's been helping me a lot with meals and meal ideas and cooking for us. Yeah, he's an absolute angel. Like, he did meal preps for me when I went away with family one weekend. Like, I just have to say a big thank you because I know he'll be watching this as well, so I love you, thank you. But yeah, he got me onto turkey sausages. Again, a little bit of a treat, I would say. This is what I'm saying, like I wasn't super harsh on myself to the point where I was like really lean with everything, but turkey sausages are a little bit better than pork sausages. Again, really great protein source, and for breakfast, not very calorific either. I think there's only like 80 calories in one. So yeah, I really love those, and we made a lot of like homemade egg McMuffins. Overnight oats as well, really love overnight oats. Feel like they're a really good source of energy. Really great to mix in with like fruits, seeds, whatever you want to mix them in with. They're really filling. Also breakfast, really like Weetabix and shredded wheat. Again, I find those really filling, and you can put some fruits on the top. So yeah, those are like some breakfast ideas for you guys, and kind of like a general idea of what I was eating. Lunch and dinners, had a couple of questions on Instagram about like how to manage cravings for unhealthy foods and what to eat in general, because a lot of you were saying you kind of get bored if you're eating the same stuff a lot of the time, and I totally get that. I'm the sort of person, like as long as I'm full, I'm not really going to crave bad stuff anyway, and I'm very good at kind of managing cravings, because it's just like there's a lot of stuff you can have anyway that is still fine for you, that tastes really good. Had a lot of chicken, obviously it's a great source of protein. I'm not going to be eating that going forward. Quorn I really love the peppered steaks from Quorn. I really love the Quorn pieces. Quorn vegan fish fingers, absolutely love those, and they're very low in calories, very low in like saturated fats. Kind of just had like a whole mix of different protein type foods, I guess, and then I would have veg with it, so broccoli, kale, that type of vibe, and then I'd either have like rice, sweet potato fries. Sweet potato fries I do homemade, so I'll literally just buy a sweet potato and chop it up, and then use a little bit of rapeseed oil, because it's supposed to be a little bit healthier than olive oil for you, and just some seasoning, and whack them in the oven for 25 minutes and they're good to go. Had a lot of like salmon, like teriyaki salmon. Salmon's a little bit higher in fat, but it's still really great for you and really healthy. My boyfriend would make like salmon with homemade teriyaki sauce with like orange and garlic and ginger and all different like soy sauces and stuff like that, and it was delicious. The whole kind of point for me was like allowing myself to still have some treats, because I don't like the idea of dieting or like being on a diet, because you don't want to be thinking of it as a short-term thing. Like if you want to be healthy, for example, it's kind of just like you think of it more as a lifestyle, and you're still allowed to have like treats. Like one weekend I had 2 slices of Papa John's pizza because all my family ordered it, and I was like, do you know what, I'm gonna have some because I've been really good and I really want a slice of pizza. It's absolutely fine to have treats and be a little bit naughty, like don't feel like you have to be really harsh on yourself. So for example, my godmom Justine is the most incredible baker. Like she makes such good caramel shortbread, gingerbread, like chocolate tiffin. So I had a lot of that over Centre Park's weekend, but then when it got back to Monday, I was just super healthy again. So one of my favourite meals that me and my boyfriend cooked a lot this month was lettuce wraps. So occasionally I would treat myself to like a wheat wrap and have like the carbs, but a lot of the time I actually really liked having lettuce wraps. So basically just like baby gem lettuce with some form of like protein, like chicken, corn, whatever you want it to be, and then we made homemade tzatziki. I don't know how you pronounce that, but it's delicious. Oh my gosh. Made that with the 0% fat Greek yogurt and just some mint and cucumber. So good and so refreshing, and obviously like a really healthy snack as well. You can have it with like breadsticks if you want to as a snack. You can have it with carrot sticks, like whatever you want. But yeah, hopefully that gives you guys some ideas. Watermelon I had a lot as a snack. Watermelon is really good for you, and obviously it's not as sugary as some other fruits. In terms of drinking as well, I almost forgot to mention this. So I was drinking a lot of water. I still am drinking a lot of water. I was not drinking alcohol which I know some people are going to be like, no. I wasn't actually really thinking about the fact that I wasn't drinking alcohol. Like it wasn't something that I was really annoyed that I'd have to give up, because I wasn't drinking a lot anyway. But alcohol really is like such a downfall, especially if you like me and you like cocktails. Like cocktails are the worst. Okay, and then in terms of fitness and going to the gym and all of that good stuff, I have to say a big thank you to my brother Charlie, because he was amazing. Like, he's been coming to the gym with me a lot this month, because I'm not quite at the stage yet. Like, I have gone a couple of times by myself, but I do still find it a little bit overwhelming sometimes. I have had 2 personal trainers before, which if you're based in Manchester, 10 out of 10 recommend them. Put information down below for them if you're interested and you do want a PT. Grace Fit's Shreddy app, absolutely love that, especially if you're starting out at the gym and you don't really know what to do or what you're doing. You do have to pay for it. I've been paying for it on a monthly basis, so I paid for 1 month in January to test it out. You get to choose what plan you want depending on if you want to lose fat, if you want to build muscle, X, Y, and Z, and then you will get given a week's worth of workouts and meal plans and all of that good stuff. All of the meals are vegan, just so you know. Probably the best source of information I've come across though is YouTube. Like, honestly, there's so many people on YouTube that are really knowledgeable in fitness and working out and nutrition and all of that good stuff, and all of it's obviously free content. I'll link a couple of channels down below that I've really been enjoying, because I can't remember them all off the top of my head. But yeah, the first day was a struggle. We went on the 2nd of January, me and Charlie. Literally, my legs were just not working. Like, I couldn't even do 30 kilograms on the leg press. Okay, it's January 2nd. How are we feeling?
Tired. A little bit low, a little bit low. There you go. Really slow on the way down and fast on the way up. Very good. Excellent work. Wow. Good job. Congratulations. How you feeling?
I'm like 3 sets of squats and 2 sets of that and I'm done.
I didn't really film like tons and tons in the gym, because obviously I'm still starting out and my form, for example, is not always great, so I don't really want to show you guys like stuff that I'm doing that's not the right form. Things that I really like to do, so if I'm gonna be working on my glutes and my bum, I really like hip thrusts. I think hip thrusts are amazing. There's certain things as well that I prefer to do, like a lighter load and more reps, and then other things that I prefer, for example hip thrusts, I really like to go as heavy as I can with those, and do like 8 to 10 reps of like 3 or 4 sets. Deadlifts, I absolutely hate doing deadlifts, but again, I tend to feel them a lot in my glutes, which is really good. Things like the cable machine I find are really good, especially if you're starting out and you don't want to be faffing about and you don't have the confidence to do that yet. Also like hip abduction machine, I find that really good for my bum as well. And don't feel scared either or intimidated. I always used to be that person where I was like, I don't want to go to the gym because it intimidates me, but at the end of the day, everyone's just there to kind of work on themselves and mind their own business, or at least they should be there to mind their own business. So don't feel worried or ashamed, you know, even if you're just starting out and you're really unfit or you have no idea what you're doing. Like, even just the fact that you're making the effort to go is amazing. So don't be put off by Tom, Dick and Harry in the gym, you know? I did a lot of ab routines at home. So again, you can find them really easily on YouTube. Just like, all you need to do is 10 minutes. When it comes to abs, honestly, like, it's so easy. If you just do 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening, I don't always do that, if I'm gonna be honest, but if you literally just spare 10 minutes of your day and do that every single day for a month, you will see a difference, I promise. Stuff that I did at home as well, like resistance band workouts, like donkey kicks, fire hydrants, what else did I do? Things like Bulgarian split squats, they're really easy to do at home. You don't have to go to a gym if you don't want to. I do think it helps if I actually have to get in my car and go to a gym. I'm at the gym, so I have to do it now, whereas if I'm at home all day, I'm more likely to just be lazy. Make a note as well of what weights you're doing, what reps you're doing, what's the heaviest you can go, you know, what you like to do less reps and heavier weights on, and what you like to do less weight and more reps on. For example, cable machines, if I'm doing kickbacks, I like to do those a little bit lighter and do more reps because I find that I get a better burn that way. I'm going to answer some questions that you guys asked on Instagram in case there's anything I've missed. One of the first questions, are carbs a bad thing? No, I don't think carbs are a bad thing. I know some people swear by like keto, I think it's keto diet, where you have like no carbs but pretty much whatever else. If you want to do that, then fine, go for it, but I personally don't think it's the best idea, because as soon as you start eating carbs again, like your body will respond to that. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's better to just have a healthy balance of everything, and that's something you can actually maintain. Whereas like keto, where you're having no carbs whatsoever, I don't really think that's easy to maintain, but that's just my opinion. Your workout schedule. So yeah, I was probably going to the gym like four times a week. Do you find your energy levels drop when you decrease calories? That's actually a good question. Yes and no. I feel like I didn't drop them to a point where it like really fatigued me, because as I said, I didn't stick to it like exactly. If I was hungry, I ate. I did have a session the other day where, this is another thing as well, because not everything was consistent, in the sense that some days I have a really, really good workout and I feel really productive and I leave the gym feeling like I've really like done something, and other days I'm just tired from other stuff. Like the other day I was so stressed about X, Y, and Z. We went to the gym in the evening and I literally just couldn't, like I just didn't have the energy because I was so drained mentally from being stressed. I feel like sometimes stuff like that can be disheartening, but you just kind of have to remember like not every session is going to be a good session, and sometimes you're going to struggle more than other days, and it's not always an upwards hill. Staying healthy on nights out and when eating out. Again, I don't find this particularly difficult. I feel like you can go to any restaurant really and they will have something on the menu that you can eat if you're, you know, trying to be a bit healthier. So for example, one night we went and ate out at the Botanist, and on the menu there was like fish, I think it was sea bass with like roasted, like boiled potatoes and grilled vegetables or something. And I was like, perfect, great. Don't exactly know what's in it, but it's a pretty like healthy lean meal. Fear of going to the gym on your own and not having a clue what you're doing. Just, you know, do what you can. Don't feel the pressure. The fact that you've even gone is better than not going. So just go, use some of like the machines that are already preset, and you can just adjust the weight with like the pin, the little like pin that you put into them. Just use stuff like that, because that's very simple, very easy to use if you've not got the confidence to do like full on weights or whatever, or just go on the treadmill if you want to do more cardio. I didn't really do a lot of cardio this month. I did more so weights. Yeah, as long as you're doing something, it's better than nothing. That's what I say. So don't worry about going. And as I said, everyone should just be there to like mind their business and do their own thing. So don't worry about, you know, being a beginner there, because everyone has to start somewhere. Best guilt-free treats. Oh, that's a good one actually. I feel like this is like differs from person to person, because not everyone likes the sort of food I like. But for example, like hummus and pita bread, that for me is like such a treat, because I just love hummus. Like I would eat hummus all day if I could. Things like apple and peanut butter, that kind of feels like a treat. But again, it's still relatively healthy, so it's guilt-free. I think if there's anything else I've eaten this. Oh, Halo Top ice cream. Oh my gosh, Halo Top ice cream. I'm obsessed with it. There's like 300 calories in a whole tub, which is really, really low. It's got a really good source of protein, like a really good amount of protein in it. That was always like my go-to treat that I felt guilt-free about. When did you start to notice a change in your body? As I'm currently on a similar journey. Even within a week, I was noticing a difference. Like even within 2 weeks, like by the third week, by now I've noticed a difference. But yeah, sometimes it might take a little bit longer. I feel like now that I've slimmed down a little bit, the actual process of gaining more muscle is going to be a little bit of a longer journey for me. But losing the initial weight that I wanted to lose was quite quick and easy, which was great. How much weight did you lose? Okay, I didn't actually talk about that. It's hard to say, because obviously like I've been gaining muscle, so I have lost a little bit of weight. I don't really know if I should say exactly. I don't know. I have lost a little bit of weight as I've been doing this, but I have also gained muscle. So it's not been like a drastic difference in the amount of weight that I've lost, but I don't mind that. Like I don't really judge my body or how I am by scales. Like I'll weigh myself on the scale sometimes just to get an idea of where I'm at, but I don't really, if the number on the scales is higher than I thought it was going to be, I don't get upset about that. Like I kind of judge my body based on how I feel and how I look. How to gain weight? Oh girl, it's kind of hard for me to give advice on that, because I don't know. I've never had to gain weight. I can eat a chocolate digestive and I've put on like a whole kilo, do you know what I'm saying? There'll be videos on YouTube that are really good at giving advice to that. As I've said, like you can literally find anything on YouTube. If you want to gain weight, you need to be eating more calories than what you're burning. in a nutshell. Make sure they're good calories still, so lots of protein, good fats, that kind of vibe. There's a lot of questions about good vegetarian meals. As I've said, Quorn is like my favourite. Now that I'm vegan for the month, I'll be documenting all of that, and I will update you in a month's time on what I've eaten and what my favourite meals are being vegan. How long do you stay at the gym for? That's a good question. I probably do an hour and a half to 2 hours. How to prevent yourself becoming obsessive with your weight and what you eat. Again, to see it as more of a lifestyle and not a diet, I would say, because if you just tell yourself like, I'm going on a diet for a couple of weeks, then you kind of do get obsessive about it because you only picture it as like a short-term thing that you're doing. Whereas if you say to yourself, I'm going to start being more healthy and I'm going to start being more active, that's like a long-term thing, and then it's not something that you're obsessive about, it's just something that you're doing. And yeah, I would say as well not to go off scales, because scales can be confusing, they can be misleading, they're not always accurate, and it's more about how you feel like mentally and physically. So yeah, a good substitute for TV binging, I'm awful for it. Do you know what? One thing I will say actually that I've not mentioned when I was talking about food and stuff, water, okay, and drinking water, you'll be shocked at like how much that fills you up. I don't know what the statistic is, but a lot of the time when we feel hungry, we're actually just thirsty because we've not had enough water in the day. I'm pretty sure you should drink like 2 to 3 litres of water a day, which is what I aim to do. But if I have a glass of water before I have a meal, I did this the other day when I was having like the chicken burger that my boyfriend made me, which was like my first proper naughty meal, which was delicious. I had like a full glass of water before I had that burger, and I was like, fuck, like I'm actually not even hungry now. Still ate it because I was like, it's delicious. But guarantee, like, if you drink more, like having a cup of tea when you're watching TV, I love doing that. Having a cup of tea and one digestive biscuit or something if you really want to. Or yeah, sometimes I'll have like Halo Top ice cream if I want to have something that's a bit naughty when I'm eating, when I'm watching a film, sorry. I'll have something like that. Watermelon, just replace like whatever you're having when you're watching TV that's bad snacks with good snacks. Alright, I'm gonna leave it there because I've literally been talking for like an hour and a half and I'm actually scared as to how long this video is gonna be. Hope you guys found this interesting. As I said, I'm not an expert, or I'm not trying to like advise you on what to do. I'm also just give you like tips and hopefully a little bit of inspiration if you're thinking about getting into the gym, or you're thinking about cooking healthier meals or whatever it may be. Yeah, hopefully I've just like helped you a little bit. But yeah, as I said, I'm filming this on the 1st of February, so I'm going to upload this tomorrow for Sunday's video, but I am officially going vegan for a month. So gonna share with you lots of good places to eat in Manchester, good takeaways, good meals to make, breakfast, lunch, dinner, that type of vibe, as well as still doing a little bit of fitness stuff, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully this has been interesting and useful. If you've got any questions, let me know. But yeah, I love you guys as always, and I'll see you in the next one.